Brenda, it did go national, particularly on some of the more conservative outlets, and used as an example of lawlessness here in Portland. Well, today the mayor pushed back.
First of all, let me be very clear. Motorists should feel completely safe coming into downtown Portland.
Those were the mayor's first words after I asked him about safety over what happened last weekend. Protesters had gathered for an unpermitted march over the police shooting death of 27-year-old Patrick Kimmons. Police stayed back as protesters directed traffic, and in one instance captured on that video, an impatient driver tried to drive through someone. Well, the crowd got angry and ran after him. The altercation ended with the driver's car damaged, including broken windows. Police did not intervene. Today, Mayor Ted Wheeler said he supports the police decision on that intervening may have escalated an already tense situation. And he said it's not easy being a cop in Portland.
This is the story of Goldilocks and the two bears. The porridge is either too hot or it's too cold. At any given moment in this city, the police are being criticized for being heavy-handed and intervening too quickly, or they're being criticized for being standoffish and not intervening quickly enough.
Of course, there's the porridge that's just right as well, but in any case, the mayor said police will enforce laws, but need to handle crowd control situations on a case-by-case basis. Of course, you can argue laws were broken in that situation that you saw on the video. Now, while standing with the Bureau, the mayor says that this is all under investigation, and if there are lessons to learn from it, well, they're going to learn them. Brenda, back to you.